join me. Let's see if... Waiting for Jimbo Jet, not the first time.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Bear with. There you are.
Oh, man.
You are pretty white considering you live in Florida.
Well, you look like Harry Potter, son.
Yeah, which side though? I've got scars all over my... I said to Han the other day, it's only my forehead, isn't it? It's actually the most useful bit of me, I think. But...
Before we even talk about anything else, what on earth have you done now?
Well, I told you it was a tractor incident, didn't I?
Yeah, but I don't live in Devon anymore, so
sorry,
it sound like that's a normal thing.
Incident. I walked into the front loader of a tractor. So you know, like the one of them on the front.
How?
I wasn't looking where I was going and just walked straight into it. Yeah. I think I actually ended up quite concussed as well.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you...
Look at it.
When you... Oh, Jim.
That's worse. That's Newquay. That little scar there. This is Branscombe.
What on earth? Were you running?
No, I was walking. Obviously, when you walk, you don't look where you're going.
I want to come up with like an excuse for you, but it keeps happening.
I'm an idiot.
Apart from that, though, you're looking rather well.
Yeah, doing all right, actually, to be fair. I think lockdown suits me quite nicely.
It's what you've always desired.
100%, yeah. So I'm furloughed at the moment. So basically work kind of lay you off. So you're not allowed to do any work, but the government pay 80% of your wage. So
okay. And then that leads us on. So I asked for some questions from people across the universe. And one of the biggest questions was, are you still alive, basically? Like, what have you been doing?
Yeah, I did a little bit. So obviously, you know what I've been doing, but not many people do. So I left the golf industry and went and started working for an app to help like armed forces vets kind of gain a pathway into work after they leave.
Yeah, and that was with
Vicey.
So Vicey. So
yeah,
a lot of people in and around Devon and stuff would know him. Really, really nice guy, top guy.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, basically that's what I've been doing. So we launched an app, and the idea was to help people into work that need help into work and help with upskilling, that kind of thing. Obviously, I was teaching Vicey how to kind of play golf, gave him some lessons, and he just said, you know, we're doing this. Do you fancy a bit of a change? So I kind of looked into it, and I thought, yeah, actually, you know what, I could go back to golf whenever.
Yeah. I get the impression. I think it was probably more like this kid doesn't like coaching, doesn't know how to coach. He needs a way out.
Yeah. Did you pay him? He paid him. I knew it.
First comment on my hair. That hair, Buzz, man. The hair doesn't usually get shown.
Wild, isn't it?
I can't go out in the wind.
If it was blonde, it'd almost be like, "Hey Arnold."
And we had the wonderful, the one and only.
Hello.
Pink Houdini put a comment. Got confused trying to do a TrackMan combined test and accidentally did a tractor combine harvester test. You're not going to change him.
Failed it.
But yeah, and what's the app called? Employable.
Employable with an I.
With an I.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm able.
Yeah, and I think that's been a good move for you.
Yeah, it's been alright. I've missed golf.
Yeah.
I've missed golf a lot, yeah. And then when I've gone and played, so I'm attached to Honiton still. So I've played a couple of programs. I went to France and Spain, kind of in, I think it was October, and when did I go to Spain? Only a few weeks before lockdown, probably like end of March, beginning of March, I think it was. End of Feb, beginning of March.
Yeah.
But the problem is, obviously, like, I don't practice, I haven't had time, especially over the winter. So I was terrible.
Yeah. But here's the question: Did you enjoy it?
Loved it. It's the most I've enjoyed it. Like I've done actually, I've played a few of the alliances.
Okay.
So our winter alliance, I've played probably 7 or 8 of them. Okay. I actually won one.
There we go. I say every blind squirrel finds a nut, but you've usually got vision issues with all the stuff you walk into.
Yeah, there's all fall onto. Depends what time of day it is, doesn't it? So yeah, blind squirrel found a nut. Actually, I use that in my speech because it's true.
Yeah.
Blind squirrel did.
Like I always said, like obviously when I
Thanks,
finished,
Rich. Yeah.
Like when I finished university and I obviously the sports science degree, and I kind of said to my dad, I said, look, I'm either going to turn pro or I got to stop, you know, I can't.
Or you're going to eat.
Yeah, well, but it was more like, because I always turned pro to coach, you know, that was always the reason I did it. But I kind of said, look, I can't just keep playing these same amateur events I've played since I was 12, you know, keep playing. I just can't do it. You know, I'm not going to see any enjoyment in that. But like, obviously it's easy to say, but I never actually really experienced it. So I turned pro, and then I like playing in PGA events, you know, on the region, actually then I kind of got a bit burnt out, a bit bored of golf.
Yeah.
And partly because I was playing so bad. But, you know, at the end of my amateur career, I got to the point, you know, I was turning up, and like, if I didn't feel like if I didn't win, it was like a waste of time. But when you turn up with that attitude, you don't win very often.
No.
So it's interesting now, like obviously you probably don't feel like you can play to the standard that you're capable of, or is it giving you freedom? Are you just going out enjoying it and still?
Do you know what? I'm going out and I'm enjoying it. So I've played with Kev a little bit. You know, over the winter when possible, I've got out, and I've absolutely loved it. And it's the first time for years and years and years, other than kind of doing the filming, but actually going out with some people that had a camera, and just absolutely loved it every minute. It doesn't matter how badly I play, my attitude's changed. Like, I don't really care anymore how I play. Yeah. Unless it's a pro-am and I don't want to let the people down, but you know, it's given me a different perspective on golf, and it's great.
Yeah, good. And
I also understand how hard it is as well, because I think if you're playing a lot, like, again, like you kind of practice quite a bit and whatever else and hit balls, that if you play a lot, you probably take for granted actually how difficult the game is.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, for sure. And I can remember, like, even when we would be filming, like you're competitive, like you always wanted to win, you know, and Crossfield obviously pretends that he doesn't care, but he used to care, like,
he really does. He really does. Yeah.
But you know, it was like, I can remember we did a couple videos, you know, where like I was thinking from like a viewership, that was a really, really good video, but like you might have lost on the last, and you would be like,
don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone. Yeah. Absolutely. I hate
no, to be fair, you were never that bad. You could just tell, like, even if you were on the course, you just wanted to win.
Yeah, I was thinking it, but I just never acted on it.
and then talking of Crossfield, talking about your new eye injury, I've had lots of questions regarding the one-eyed twitch.
Something I'm going to live down. That was an awful night.
And I want to, because I'm probably the only person that actually knows the correct version of the story, because
even I'm not completely aware of it.
Yeah, because Crossfield and Lockie actually went home earlier than we did. Not that they went home particularly early. Go on, talk me through what happened, and then I will actually fill in the blanks.
Well, I'm not. Do you know what? I don't know. Like, I remember we were in that pub with the terrace. I can't even remember what it's called. It's like Chai Bar or something.
Sailors. It was Sailors.
It was what? Sailors, was it?
Yeah.
But then we went for a walk down around to the beach, was it?
No, so we.
See, I told you I didn't know the story. I know I tried to jump off a wall and I just kind of fell and used my head as a pillow. But
so behind, I'm pretty sure it's Sailors in Newquay. So we were on that terrace bit because like the main part of it was shut. Because obviously when we film midweek, a lot of the time we go to places and it's dead. And yeah, we spent a little too long in there. And then you can walk. We were trying to walk back to the hotel, and you can, like, if you think of Newquay, well, like a lot of beach towns, you got the beach, and then you've got like stuff up this side, and then our hotel was like the other side. So you had to walk down pretty much to the beach and then walk back up.
That sounds romantic. Yeah.
Oh, it started very romantic, and it was like an S-shape walk down to the beach, and then we could get up to the hotel. Okay, so that's the garden area opposite the not the outback. What's the walkabout? Yeah. So you walk back down and you get to walk back. Absolutely.
I sent you the picture of the wall, didn't I?
Yeah.
I was in Newquay this year, and I sent you a picture of the wall. Yeah, that was it.
But you so S-shapes, and I must have been in front of you, and you literally stepped down as if it was like a one step, whereas it was probably like a 6-foot drop. And I still remember the sound. Like, it was just flesh, just like bang. And I go over and I don't know what to do because you were motionless. And I said to you, I said, mate, are you all right? And you went, yes. And I'm like, oh, thank God. And I said, can you get up? And you went, no.
Oh, dear.
And then what made it funnier? What made it funnier was, and I can't remember, we were staying at a hotel up above Walkabout on the other side. Quite possibly I don't know if all the
that was the worst hotel we've
like
ever stayed in.
Can you remember, like, you opened the door and you hit the bed, like that's how small it was. And
it was bunks, wasn't it?
It was bunk beds, but they had this strict rule where you couldn't bring back guests. You know, if you weren't staying there, you weren't allowed on property. And they gave us like a ticket to get back into the hotel.
Why do they do that? Why give you a ticket? You know you're going to lose it. Like...
Yeah, well, I didn't lose mine.
Why give me a ticket?
But it took me, and it was light, but it was light by the time we got to this hotel. So it's got to be now 5, 6 in the morning. And we get up, and I couldn't get you to walk up the hill. You wouldn't walk up the hill. You kept just like turning and walking back down to the bottom of the hill. So it took me like an hour to get you up to this hotel. We walked through the door and the guy won't let you in because you don't have your ticket. And I looked the guy in the eye and I point at you, and you can imagine you've got blood all down your face here. And I said, if he wasn't staying here and I didn't have to deal with this guy, do you honestly think I would have brought him back? And the guy just went, fair enough, and let you in.
That was literally horrific. What you didn't mention was the fact I went swimming after I jumped off the wall.
He did. I was trying to poetic license. I was trying to save you. Yeah, I couldn't get you to walk up, and next
So
thing you were in
glad
the
that video's disappeared, because that is like literally gives me nightmares as well.
Well, you go in the sea,
Yeah.
and I'm laughing and I'm recording because it's hilarious. But then you got out to a certain point where I'm like, this guy could pass out, and then I'm gonna have to go in, which luckily didn't happen. But
Yeah.
you snored all night, which was good in a way.
All night.
It meant...
We got to bed at 6. I snored about an hour and a half.
for the hour. Yeah.
Oh, you're telling me you didn't get any sleep?
I went out to have a fine meal, a very nutritious meal, so I could have a good round of golf the next day. And next thing I know, I'm watching you swimming as the sun comes up.
So obviously it is actually quite romantic.
I remember in the morning, and your face was a mess. And you went,
It was a bit of blood. It was a bit of blood. It was fine.
And you went, don't worry about it. I'll have a shower and it will be fine.
Like, yeah, I remember that. And then I was like, oh, I better phone Hannah, that she's going to be a bit upset.
Oh.
Yeah, don't worry. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. And then she picked me up and looked at you, and she was just like...
She looked at me and...
How have you let that happen?
Yeah. She looked... But she'd never met Mark before. And she was so nice to Mark. She was like, hi, Mark. How you doing? Oh, hi, Lockie. How are you? Steve. You went to the hospital in the evening.
Yeah, they said I should have gone
like,
the night. And you're too late. I should have had stitches, but it was too late because it already started healing up.
Yeah, they said you needed to be here like 12 hours ago, and we'd gone out and played.
Yeah, but we'd had an important game of golf, didn't we?
And Lockie and Mark had turned, so they turned their phones off because they didn't want to be interrupted in the night for obvious reasons. So like, they didn't have any clue that any of this had happened.
Until we saw them in the cafe in the morning, wasn't it, for breakfast?
Yeah.
I just like slid in next to them. Morning.
It was just such a strange... And I can't really... Like, people mention the vlog. I can't really remember the vlog.
I actually played half decent.
Yeah, all I remember is that if we didn't win, it was a competitive game. But it was literally all on you. You made like a bunch of birdies. Was that the Eagle Day as well?
Oh god, no. Mark had an eagle on the straight.
Oh, he hold it. He hold it on the one after the really hard par
straight one. The 11th, 12th, yeah.
12. After the hardest par 3 in golf.
Yeah, and that was pretty much the end of it then.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I can remember is you actually played half decent.
I think my eye was the same colour as my hat, as I remember. Like I was wearing a purple Titleist hat, and my eye was the same colour.
I remember when we were going down, you were like, "Oh, I wonder if I just wear the sunglasses, if anyone will notice." And it's like, yeah.
That was bad. But anyway,
that was a bad one.
I was young, naive. I was only like 4 years ago. What am I talking about?
Or like one of the stories, because obviously that was a really obvious story, and I've thrown you under the bus, telling it. I will say one of the stories, and I don't think a lot of people know this one, was when I played Turnberry with Mark and Lockie. You know, Mark did that Buzza lost ball count or whatever shindig he was trying to make me look silly.
Yeah.
But I had been out in Exeter maybe 2 nights prior, and running home from the nightclub, I tried to jump over a wall. We're not very good with walls, are we? So I tried to jump over a wall, and I landed on my ankle. I'd like completely like sprained my ankle. So I'm playing Trump Turnberry, which is beautiful, by the way. But I'm just like, I had the worst day of my life. I could barely walk. I forgot my 2-iron, so it was windy, so I wasn't prepared to hit my hybrid. So I'm just smashing drivers around, probably shot in the hundreds, and you're like, I could barely walk.
It's so hard, isn't it? Especially when they're chirping in your ear as well.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the questions. That was one of the questions I had. So I mentioned that we had some questions asked. That was one. Let me find it. So, which Muppet rattled you the most and why? Best example.
It's got to be Mark.
It's got to be Mark. So I can't
Mark,
really.
Lockie doesn't say anything, so there's only one in the equation. So yeah, got to be Mark. And he destroyed my short game.
He did actually. Yeah.
He did destroy my short game.
Yeah. He did, because like started calling you Twitch, but you never really had a problem, did you? And
not until that point.
No.
It was the classic kind of like, ooh, is that the action you use for your pitching? And I'm like, yep. And then suddenly it's like, ooh, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
So
you've got like
definitely Mark.
Yeah, and you've got that like old school like pitching action where you tend to use one club and you kind of drive it forwards. So like if you lose your confidence, it's quite easy to start mishitting them. Oh,
Steve, I've changed all of that now.
Yeah?
Yeah, got 54 and a 6. I'm using the 54 a lot.
Good.
And the 50.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's something I've always asked you to at least try and practice, because one of the things was you never.
I've literally got the touch of, I don't know, I can't really say. Harold Shipman, there you go. but at least I'm trying it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be Mark. That's the easiest question.
Is MC like the Trump of golf?
Like, yeah, but Mark. So
Mark's not, no, because he doesn't lie.
Yeah, but where Mark was quite clever, because he does like winning, and people that pretend he doesn't.
Regardless of what he says.
Yeah.
If he's losing, you feel it as well.
Yeah, but he would rush you a bit, when you were doing well, and the comments would come. Like people would think it would be my putting, comments about my putting, but the problem I had when I was filming, especially initially, was quite frankly, I was a very hitty putter with an S in front of it. Anyway, I'll let you do that.
That was very good, actually, Steve.
It's one I've used many a time. But I was, as an amateur, my putting was just horrific.
Yeah.
So like when it came to filming and like trying to rush and get, because I think we probably got used to it a bit, but even when we were doing it with Mark initially, it used to be like, it was always a rush, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, we're doing I think when people watch the vlogs, they don't factor in that we're filming as well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing for me, like, obviously it was very new to me when I first started doing it with Mark. And you do get people coming up behind you and you're like, sugar, what am I going to be like? How do I react to this? Do we let it through? Do we carry on?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then you feel quite rushed anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so like for my putting, because, I was bad anyway, and then rushing.
Yes, Rich, I am.
Yeah, rushing, and then it's like, that was that. So I would miss them, and I had a big aim issue. So I remember missing one at Teignmouth. I missed a really short left to righter, but I the way my stroke worked, I literally anything left to right I couldn't hold. So you see, it's easy when someone's chirping in your ear, but there were massive technical problems there.
Yeah. I do remember though. Like, do you remember that when you turned up with your weird squatty putting stance? Like,
yeah, but that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, but the story behind that, and I'm not even sure if you're aware of this. So, like I said, I was always a terrible putter. I went to
Placey.
I can't remember the guy's name. He was at Hembury, you know, in Bristol.
Yeah.
So I can't remember the guy's name, but he was basically, so you've got Phil Kenyon now, who was obviously a product of Harold Swash.
Yeah.
Harold Swash, his main studio was based in Liverpool, but there was a guy at Hembury. I'm not sure if he's still there. Really cool. He had converted his pro shop, the back of his pro shop, into like a putting green with a lot of slope.
Okay.
And we, so anyway, I went up there this was when I was an amateur. I was probably, this is going years back. This was probably when I was 16, 17. And I went up there for a 4-hour lesson. And I went up thinking he was going to tell me, like, look, son, your putting stroke's pretty good. You just need to believe a bit more and maybe do a routine or, you know, something like that. And we went up there. And remember, this guy is a specialist in putting. He's like, he'd never seen anything like it. He couldn't work out what was happening. Like, the way that my stroke was tracking. And I had, basically back then, like now, you record everything, don't you? So you would record your stroke and go, what on earth are you doing? Whereas with putting back then, I hadn't really ever seen my stroke. So I go up there and I walk in and then I look at my stroke on video and it's like, how have you ever hold a putt, let alone why are you upset that you missed the odd one? It was like, it looked like my driver takeaway. I was like shifting and breaking my wrist. You wouldn't have known I wasn't trying to hit 300 yards.
Yeah, I do remember that.
But anyway, back to the story. The thing, I was cutting across the ball a lot. I found out years later, actually, I'm left eye dominant. So
okay, yeah.
My visual alignment, that was actually the main reason I struggled with putting, was basically I was looking at my left eye. So I was, if you think about it, if I'm like here, if you look and go, hi, James, can you see the right eye here?
Yeah.
The left eye way over here. So basically I would aim really far left and then chop across it.
Yeah.
So I didn't find that out 2 years later. But one of the things this guy, and I'm embarrassed, I can't remember the guy's name. He found when my backside was in front of my feet, that was when I did it the most. So the reason I was squatting, I was trying to get as much of my mass like behind myself. And
when your backside was in front of your feet?
No, so don't make me stand up, mate. I got chills.
No, I know what you mean. It was just the way you termed it.
So basically I wasn't hinged that much.
Yeah.
So I wasn't hinged that much. So but being a bit getting as much of my ass behind my heels, basically it helped my stroke. So let's say I missed a few left to righters and I started wafting across it. What I would do is I would squat down. I actually putted a lot better doing that. For that period of time, I actually putted decent.
It was quite hilarious to watch, though.
Yes, but that was
literally me and Mark were standing next to each other, going 3, 2, 1, squat.
Yeah, and I think sometimes that's where the YouTube videos are quite tough because you're like especially initially, people can be quite rude and they can be quite mean in the comments. So it's like, is it better to stand normally and miss everything, or do you go down and try and hold some putts? And I was just doing what I was doing anyway. I wasn't going to modify it to...
Rich is loving this, isn't he?
Is Rich commenting?
Huh?
I'm not seeing any comments come up.
Oh, right. Well, it's coming up on mine. Buzzman, the only person who tried putting the same as you would ride a rodeo bull.
Yeah, why aren't I getting any of the comments?
Don't know. Placey's on. I don't know if he is still now. But
Placey is one of the greats in the game.
Placey. So he came over to Spain when I played this Pro-Am. And so I'll take you back to the beginning of my trip. So the morning we were leaving, this is a typical me, you'll love this. I go with Nobby, so a friend of mine. I think you've met Nobby anyway.
I've met him, yeah.
Yeah, so we went from Bristol Airport, but because we booked late, the price of the flights had gone up. So to get to Barcelona, we were flying to Alicante, and then from Alicante to Barcelona, because it was cheaper than going direct.
Okay. So
get to Bristol Airport, hour and a half, 2 hours before the flight's due to take off. Everyone's there, Placey was there, and like Will Farley and everyone.
Yeah.
Saying hello at the airport, and they're like, "Oh, what flight are you on?" "Oh, we're on." It was the half 7, 20 to 8. It was. We're on the 28 because we're going the other way around. And they're like, "Okay, cool." So anyway, we were sat in a cafe upstairs at Bristol Airport, and it said boarding information 10 to 7. So I'm like, okay, sweet. So you've had our breakfast. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go to the toilet and then I'll meet you back here. Bit of a queue at the toilet. So 1 minute past 7, I get back to Nobby, sat in a cafe, look up at the screen, gate closed. So at 1 minute past 7, gate closed. So we were like, no! Grabbed our stuff, we ran, and if you're upstairs, you go straight across and you turn right. We head down to where we thought we'd be, but it doesn't say what gate you're in or anything. We get to, I think the end one is like 16 at Bristol Airport or something, and it's like, no, sorry, we're closed. We're like, what?
Oh, James. What's happening? He seems to be having some issues with... this is the problem when you live in the wilderness. I wasn't getting any... What's happening here? Jamesy boy. Oh, so I've got a comment here. That hole-in-one at R&D. I had a question about that. Let's see if I can get him back on. Let's see if Rich Woods is here. Let's see if Rich Woods is here. I have no idea where James is gone.
I'm like a poor man's James Pickard.
No! There he is.
Hello, sir.
Oh, and I tell you what, I think Jimbo might be back as well.
Oh, I'll go and I'll let Jimbo.
No. We got to get the three of us on it.
Come a three-way. I don't know how it works. That's never worked fast.
It does work. I think. I don't really know. I'll be honest. I'm not that good at using live. Maybe you can't do it with two people. Three people.
I'm gonna head upstairs and I'm gonna carry on listening and
just tell us a quick. You got to tell us a quick joke though. You got to tell us a quick joke.
It's not a joke actually. It's a story. I've actually gone away from golf and I've gone into snail racing. You were aware of that? No?
I was not aware.
Well, I had this really, really good snail, but I wanted to make him a bit quicker, so I took his shell off. He just ended up a bit sluggish.
You can go now. That is Rich Woods, as we live and breathe. He is a great human being. Let's get James back in. Here he is. He's coming. He's back. So we got a good question here. Who's the best YouTube golfer?
There we go.
You back?
Yeah, so living out in the sticks, that's what it does to your internet.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. While you went, I had Rich tell a fantastic joke.
No, I was just watching. That was the worst thing I've ever heard, I think. Oh, his Christmas crackers must be awesome.
The Think Houdini. He could genuinely write Christmas crackers.
Yeah, yeah, he actually could.
Because his jokes, they always make you do this. Where's he going? Okay, and they're never too rude. So maybe there you go.
Too clean.
Yeah. Who's the best YouTube golfer? Go on, tell me. We won't do worst.
That's an easier one to answer. I can just say me and be done with it. Do you know what? I don't really know.
It's probably tough. You haven't played with some of these these other guys. It's actually quite a hard question. Like within our group, you know, it's
oh,
Kev,
within our group, Kev.
Kev it's easy, Kev.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
You know, and I think a lot of the time when Harry Flower
you joker, you absolute joker.
Yeah, to be fair to Flower's grown up a lot. You know,
yeah,
I remember when I was an
assistant.
assistant.
Quite liked him.
Yeah, when I was an assistant, he would come in the shop. This little but yeah, he's actually grown up a lot. I have a lot of time for him. I have a lot of time for Gorilla as well.
Oh, he's a lovely boy, Gorilla. I do like him.
It's funny how we're talking about how they've grown up, yet they still have a little Peter Pan in them.
A little?
Yeah.
I think they've grown up a little bit. I think let's leave it at that.
But the one thing I would say about Kev is he's all about playing well. You know, because that's what he does. He's more of a tour pro.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, he is. Yeah, I played with him over the winter a bit. I do feel with Kev though. The problem with Kev is like he's always got this chip on the shoulder that the world owes him something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't practice, works a little, and expects and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm off to Europro next week," and then he comes back having missed the cut, and he's like, "Well, you know,
yeah,
it's really annoying." It's like, well, it's not. You don't practice.
But I think, and you actually played with Kev far more times than I did on film.
Yeah.
I don't think you truly see the golfer when he's filming. You know, the filming gets in the way. Like Mark really can get in. You know, talk about getting in people's heads, and not so much getting in his head. He can't understand it. He's like, "Why are you doing that? Why are you trying to make me play bad?" Whereas that's kind of the YouTube model.
Yeah. Whereas with Kev, like, he's proper good. He is proper good.
Yeah.
Like his bad days bad, but his good days you wouldn't touch him.
Yeah. We just had a comment about going back to Cumberwell.
I love that place.
I do as well.
Because we did 4 of the 5.
So we filmed. It was the first day
we did the red and yellow.
We did 3.
Was it 3? We did red, yellow, and
They've said, "Why don't you do the orange?" I'm pretty sure we didn't do the orange because the orange is like the links one, isn't it? Up on the top of the hill. I don't think we did that one.
The one that I hadn't played before. The first time was like a par 5 dog leg.
I think the orange and the blue start with a par 5, though, don't they?
Yeah, they got so many par 5 dog legs there. But you know what? I absolutely love it around there, and it's got the best practice facilities. So
why don't you then talk about how you started with a 9 in the PGA event?
Oh, I hadn't even finished about my missing the flight. Let me talk about my missing the flight first, and I'll get to my 9 because that's kind of linked as well. So anyway, to cut it down quickly, like missed this flight at Bristol Airport, even though we were in the airport.
Yeah.
Had to get a taxi from Bristol Airport to Bristol Coach Station, and then a coach from Bristol to Gatwick via Heathrow.
No.
And then a flight from Gatwick over to Barcelona direct. So it cost us like another 130 quid. And we were like at the point where we were like, oh, just knock it on the head. Let's not go. And we were like, no, we have to go.
Oh,
God.
God.
So then obviously you get there, everyone finds it absolutely hilarious. Placey, who was on just now,
yeah,
he got so drunk on the last night we were there that his playing partners couldn't wake him up in the morning, so they just left him. We got back to Bristol. I was like, "Where's Placey?" And they said, "Oh, he's in the hotel." At least I was stuck in my own country.
I tell you what, talking about people drinking. Did you ever play with Rory?
Yes, yeah, I did a Christmas special round St Anadot with him.
Yeah, because Rory's the nicest lad in the whole of the world.
Yeah.
But so the first time I was on camera, it wouldn't be the first time. The first time was at Stover.
Yeah.
So we did the one at Stover, and then I went out to Spain. Malmenor, is it?
Marmenor.
Marmenor. So we're staying there, but we're filming with Your Golf Travel, but there's also a Christmas party for Your Golf Travel going on. So they'd had everybody there. So we're up there. I remember I broke my foot, which is a different story. So I haven't played.
One of my favourites as well. I've told that to the guys at work before about your leg or your foot.
We're just a couple of idiots. It's so funny when I'm like, I'm going to throw him under the bus. And then as I'm doing it, I realise actually I'm just going to join you. But yeah, so they've had the Christmas party, and Rory is so intoxicated. I get a knock on the patio door.
Yeah.
Because he's left his keys, and I'm like, and he's just there standing like a zombie. And then so I open the sliding door and let him in, and don't think anything of it. I go out in the next morning, and it's like a 10-foot climb. So instead of knocking on the door like a normal person, he's climbed up onto the balcony and then knocked there. When there's like steps to just no clue. But always have a great. When we went to Ireland, me and Rory just had we had the best time.
You told me about the Ireland trip. Yeah,
he's a great guy to be around.
He is. I've met him once, and I was doing the Christmas special, and it was brilliant fun. That was.
Yeah. So we get that. So where are we heading back to?
Oh, Camberwell.
Camberwell.
Back to Camberwell.
So
this is the worst thing.
So I'll set the scene. So
Please do.
It's the 36-hole PGA
West Region Championship.
Yeah, and Camberwell has one of the nicest short game areas. You continue from there.
Very nice. So I had a tee time that was, I don't know, 10:40, let's say, and go down to the pitching area, which is brilliant. And I was there, headphones in, chipping around, minding my own business. And the marshal comes over, and I'm just like hitting my last few chips to go towards the tee.
Yeah.
And he's saying something. I'm listening to music, and I'm like, I can't hear you. And I thought he was coming over to say, like, you know, how you going? I hope you have a good day. What was that? He said, "You're on the tee." So I was like, my tee time was like 10:40, and he was like 10:30. It was boiling hot. So anyway, I've run to the tee. 2-shot penalty. So obviously then you're like really flustered, because I like getting to the tee nice and early, you know. And you get a bit flustered. And normally I just hit like a 2-iron up there or something like that, and it leaves 9-iron wedging, something like that. No, got my driver out, didn't I? snipped it out of town.
Out of town with the 2-shot penalty.
Yeah. So 5 off the tee straight away. Missed the green, thinned the chip over the back of the green, and the rest is history. Started with a 9. 5 over 3-1.
Yeah, but didn't you then shoot level par from there for 36
Yeah, I finished
holes?
around 5 over. And I think I shot 4 or 3 under the next day.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
But I did all right. But that course, there's 2 holes there. The first hole gets me quite a lot. And do you remember that was it the 15th? So really long par 4 dog leg outbound, or it's like a load of bun down the right hand side.
Yeah, you have to hit it. You almost have to. You can hit it over the hedge a bit.
Yeah. So it was quite a blowy day, and I think it was round 2. I'd shot 3 over in the first round, and I was 4 under on that hole in the second round. And I thought, right, it's into wind off the left. So I thought I'll play it as a par 5, and I hit a 2-iron off the tee, really low, knocked it onto the fairway, perfect position. And I thought, I got 240 in there. I could nut 2-iron. If I hit a little low fizzer that runs, shanked it. But the fairway's a bit like that. So
yeah, the fairway's a bit like that.
So I'm like, okay, well, might as well just go again, hadn't I? Roy McAvoy. Shanked it again. Walked off with a 10, 1 over par. Oh, what an idiot.
Oh, man.
Yeah, 15th. Yeah, Ian said, 15th. I hate that hole. I actually get sweaty palms on that tee.
Yeah, but it's because you can't. You want to hit driver and bail it left, but you can't. Because you've got to stand up and almost just hit it like a little slider with driver.
Yeah, so I always go I hit my irons pretty well, like especially the long irons. I hit right. Most of the time. So I always kind of go right. I can hit 2-iron. If there's no wind, it's like 2-iron, 5-iron, something like that. So that day I was like, yeah, I reckon I can get there. Shank, hook. Yeah, that was it. Shank, duck, hook, always the way.
Yeah.
And then you get to the next tee and you're like, where's this going?
Yeah.
That little par 3 down the hill.
But that is the beauty of the shank. Like if you hit a shank, if you just hit one, it doesn't really matter and it's funny. But then you hit the next shot, it just like feels like they're not your arms anymore.
That's it.
But talking about missed tee times, and this one was 100% on me. Remember when we went to the 4-ball championship?
Steve, yeah. But then we've got history of missed tee times.
So, and where was that? I can't even remember where it was played. Nice course. It was like a Nicholas. It was Nicholas design.
Yeah, it was one of the. It wasn't a Crown, was it? It was a. Was it a De Vere?
I think it was. Yeah. So it was
Carden Park.
Carden Park.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was.
And there's that picture of me after watching your first tee shot, and I'm absolutely crying. That was 180 yards left of the fairway. But
what made that one worse was in the qualifying, there were a few high scores, and I made a comment: if you're going to shoot that high as a bettable, maybe you need to consider not being a pro anymore. And then we turn up, so we get there, and it was just it's farcical. So we get there the day before. You ask me, what time are we off? And we're off at 12:22. To keep things simple, I say 12:30.
Because obviously you round up. In golf, you round up.
and then
whose teeth? What's about cricket? Is he? Oh, he's talking about your teeth, Steve, I guess. Yeah, he's full on American now, isn't he?
No, I've got one of these light rings.
Oh, just brush your teeth properly. You'll be all right.
Yeah, all right.
I've got less teeth to brush now anyway, so.
But so I've already told you the wrong time, and you might not remember this. We got there and we kind of got time for a practice round.
But we had a chip as well. We didn't bother.
Yeah, but can you remember why we didn't bother?
Because you couldn't be bothered to get changed.
I wouldn't put trousers on. I had shorts on, and it was a really hot day.
Yeah.
And I didn't. And obviously the rules have changed now, but I refused to put trousers. So we didn't. So we're now playing the course blind. We then turn up, and then in the morning, and this is true, by the way. A lot of tour pros, they do the putting first and then hit.
You actually said this as well on the day. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
but
what
this was
tour pros do. I'm going to putt first and go to the range.
Yeah, but that's
green was by the first tee. The range
I
was
know.
10 minutes away.
So if I hadn't said that, we would have also got the tee time because we would have just heard ourselves being called. We then we do a little putt. We go to the driving range, which is literally the other end of the complex. I think they had 2 courses, and it was closer to the second course. So we go all the way down, hit some balls down there, feeling pretty good. We come back, we go, we'll have a couple more putts, and then we'll go. And we're looking down, and we're like, oh, shit, I think we better go down there. And we go down there, and they're like, where have you been? And anyway, so you then stand up and just hit this almighty hook, like out of town. It's a dog leg. And you just, basically what you did, it sounds like, that seems to be your go-to when you miss the tee time.
It's got the biggest head, hasn't it?
that will speed things up. And we did it. So we.
What did you do? Did you do the same?
No.
No, that was day 2. I was wetting myself looking at your tee shot.
No, yeah. So day 2, I tried to hit the green. So you've hit it in play.
Yeah.
And there's probably members there that are like, what on earth? And I hit this. So I'm trying to hit this big high, like, I'm definitely not trying to turn it from right to left. I'm trying to start it as left as I can because I need the height to go over the trees and just hit this rocket hook, which, yeah, if it hit anything, I'm sorry. But
what did we start off with? Because we were penalised, not on the tee, but going down to the green.
No. You hit it out.
Yeah.
I don't hit driver. I hit 3-wood. I might have even hit hybrid, but because we haven't had a practice round, I hit it straight through the fairway. But it rolls through the bunker, so I've got this like hanging lie. I don't know what it was. It was like 160 into the wind, and I've just pummeled this 9-iron and got the flyer of all flyers, and it's gone in a hedge like 50 yards over the green. So I can't remember. I've got a feeling I had to drop out the hedge. If not, I chipped it literally sideways. And then
I think you dropped and then still had to chip it sideways.
I think so. And anyway, I make a 6. I hold a good putt for 6.
That was a good putt, yeah. Good 6. It was good 6.
And with that, as I'm walking off, the referee is coming down the first, and it's like, I wonder what this is about.
Yeah.
And the guy, he goes, guys, were you late to the tee? And I've given it the classic. I probably didn't even have a watch on. No. According to my watch, it was good. He goes, well, the starter said you were like, and he gave like the most exact number.
Oh, was it like 3 minutes and 12 seconds late?
Yes. He's gone, well, the starter said you were 3 minutes and 12 seconds late. So, and I think there must be rules. I think it's over 5 minutes, you're just DQ'd.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so that was hard to argue. I'm like, oh, okay.
So we ended up with an 8.
6 went to 8 in a bettable tournament. And then what happened on the second hole?
I hit a very angry driver a long way.
On the green. 360-yard hole. So we've just made an 8, and you then just stand up and hit it in the middle of the green.
Those guys we were playing with were great.
Yeah.
Was it Gary Stafford and his son? They were brilliant fun.
Yeah, they were good guys.
They were.
And day 2, you weren't as angry because you tried it again. Like,
40 yards short.
And I think, was it the leaders had played 3 holes to our first hole in the amount of shots taken?
Yeah, something like that. I think it was par 4, par 3, par 4 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they started like 3, 3, 2, 3 or something like that.
Yeah, and we were dead last. We were dead last day one, and I think we rallied to come like second to last or something like that.
Yeah, we penultimate finishes. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a low point as well.
I should buy a watch. That was why what?
I should buy a watch.
Yeah, but to be fair to you,
that was your fault.
That was my fault because I'm not sure if I said it in the story. You asked me I asked you. I said, "What time are we off again?" And you went 12:30 because that's what I told you. Oh,
dear.
You can't make it up. We're just a couple of idiots.
Still are.
Go on. I got some. I ask people to do questions and then I don't ask them. So come on. We're gonna get through some of these.
Okay, go on then.
A lot of them. We've covered a lot of them. A lot of them were like, "Where have you been?"
Okay, well there you go. Done.
We've got this is actually a good one. Have you had any aces since the one you did on camera with Mark?
Yes, I've had one, but I don't count it because it was by myself.
Okay, what hole was that on?
So only the second on it, so it's not.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever hit that green. It's like one of the weirdest.
Yeah,
it's such a like. Oh, you should. This is just like you almost like it's a 20-foot birdie putt guaranteed, if not lower, and then I never hit the green.
Yeah, it's quite a hard. Holes don't have to be long to be hard, do they?
Yeah.
So I had one there, but that was I think that was my last one, and that was playing by myself.
So that means you've had 10 total.
I think 11.
11.
I think so.
Yeah, well, that might be right because you had like I knew 9 was the one. Was your number? So
yeah,
11 hole in one. Do you see? Tiger was talking. I don't know if you got it over in the UK. They showed the Masters rerun on Sunday, and he was like talking over a few of the shots. And he said he had a hole in one with his son, I think a couple years ago, and that was his maybe 19th, but he hadn't had one. All the others, so 18 or 19. I can't remember if he'd had 20 or 19, but he literally had all of the others pre-2000.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Like, yeah, my granddad played off scratch, and he played to a really good standard. Never had one.
Yeah.
Never
Crazy.
Ever had one. I told you I've had 3 on par 4s.
Yeah.
4 on par 4s.
That's the easiest way. Happy Gilmore was right.
Yeah. But you've played Sidmouth, haven't you?
I played Sidmouth a couple times.
Yeah, I once started there 2-1-3. Par 4. It's kind of.
The thing is with Sidmouth's a strange course. It's obviously it's so slopey. It's on the side of a hill, but the views are spectacular. And actually, once you've played it a few times, the holes are it's a fun day.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. But then I was a member there for 19 years before I turned pro, so I've always got a bit of an affiliation. I'm just getting back for another top up. Bear with.
Here we go. I'm getting a counter down. Apparently, we've only got 40 seconds left.
Oh. Well, maybe I'll just WhatsApp you after this. Do you want to go again? Should we go again? What are we going to do? Should we hang up and go again? Can we do that? Is that possible?
I actually don't know. I've never actually. It means we've spoken for an hour, which is pretty impressive. Seeing we've never really got much to talk about. I've got a few more questions, so if I can make it happen, I'll make it happen.
If not, let me know, and I might be able to go and then add you.
Yeah, do that. That's a great.